Okay, today we're going to do some more counting. I've got a couple rhythm staffs up here for us to use, but before we get started on creating our rhythms, we need to talk about dots and what they do to the notes and rests so that we can start using rests in our rhythms. So, if I've got a half note, which is 2 beats, and I add a dot, then it becomes 3 beats because the dot adds half of whatever the note value is. So since half of 2 is 1, we add 1, and that gives us 3 beats. So the dotted half note gives us 3 beats. Now, if I've got a quarter note, which is 1 beat, and I want to add a dot, how many beats does the dot add?
Half.
A half of a beat. So total, the dotted quarter note would give us 1.5 beats. So if we were writing it in a rhythm, we would just need one more half of a beat or one more eighth note to complete that rhythm to make sure we have the correct amount of beats in the measure. Okay, and last thing we need to talk about, remember rests. So we're going to start adding them in. A quarter rest gets 1 beat, a half rest gets 2 beats, and a whole rest gets 4 beats, just like their notes. So we'll add those in and then we'll talk about how we're going to count them. Okay, let's make our 4/4 rhythm. So what should we do in the first measure?
Half note?
Okay, we can start with the half note. You want to use a rest?
Sure.
What kind of rest?
Just 1 beat.
Okay, we'll do a quarter rest here. All right, that's my quarter rest, and then we need 1 more beat.
So quarter note.
Okay. Remember, we can use eighth notes too. Okay, last measure.
Want to throw some eighth notes in there?
Okay, eighth notes. Can do eighth notes, and then what else?
Want to throw a dot in there somewhere?
A dot. What kind of note do you want for your dot?
Half.
A half note with a dot. Okay, and that's 3 beats, so that finishes up that rhythm. Okay, so let's fill in our counting for this so that we can count it. So we start on beat 1, and then that's 2 beats long, so we've got beat 2 inside that half note also. And then we've got our rest. So since a rest is a beat of silence, we're going to do the same kind of thing. Put the 3 there, little smaller with the parentheses, so we know that we don't say it out loud. When we count the rests, all we do is stop. And that marks the beat of the rest so that we don't say anything, but we keep that beat in our head so we know it's there. All right, and then that's beat 4. Next measure, we start on beat 1, and we're not on beat 2 yet. When we get to the second eighth note here, we're still inside beat 1, so we're going to say and when we get to the second part of that beat. And then we get to beat 2, and this 3 beats long, so beat 3 and beat 4 are inside of that note. Okay, so let's count this out. Remember, we hold out these notes. Whatever beat they start on, that's what we hold out. And then on the rests, we stomp and we don't say anything because it's a beat of silence. All right, let's count it. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 4, 1 and 2. Awesome. Okay, let's do a 3/4 rhythm. So what do we want to put in this measure?
What about a quarter with a dot?
Quarter note with a dot. All right, and remember we're in 3/4 now, so we only need 3 beats in each measure. All right, dotted quarter note, so we've got 1.5 beats so far.
How about the rest eighth notes?
And the rest eighth notes. So I'm going to do a single eighth note, and then 2 eighth notes together. All right, last measure, 3 more beats.
How about a half rest?
Half rest. All right, so that's 2 beats, so 1 more beat.
Quarter note.
And a quarter note. Okay, let's fill this in. So, since we've got the beginning of beat 2 still inside of this note, we're going to do the same thing and put the 2 here. but we've got the last half of beat 2 here. So what will we put here on this 8th note?
An and.
And, yeah, and it would technically be the and of beat 2. So I've got that 2 there to remind me. All right, and then beat 3 and. All right, going over here, we start on beat 1, and it's 2 beats long, so we've got beat 1 and beat 2 inside of this rest. So this would be what beat?
3.
3. All right, so there's 2 beats here, so how many times would we stomp to mark this rest?
Twice.
Twice, 2 stomps. Okay, let's count this second rhythm. We're in 3/4, so 3 beats per measure. 1, ready, go. 1 and 3 and 3. Good job. Awesome.